all my videos are in stereoscopic 3D, and this causes huge problems with YouTube's new player. Click the first link in the description. This is gonna open a Flash version of the YouTube player, which fully supports my videos. If you don't plan on watching in 3D, or if you're using Mac or mobile, then click the second link in the description. That will open a 2D daily motion version of this video.
Hello there, folks. Guess what? It's time to go ahead and not play Ark Survival Evolved. That's right, I will not be playing Ark. Nor will I be playing Alien Isolation. Today, it's time to revisit an old friend, do something different. You might have noticed lately on this channel there have been fewer and fewer VR first impressions videos, and there's a reason for that. I will explain it while I do the drive in this video. But first, let's talk about Euro Truck Simulator. You people who follow this channel a lot probably are noticing, hey, wait a minute, you did this already. Why are you calling this a first impressions video? Well, I'll tell you what. First impressions video I did on Euro Truck Simulator 2 was about a little over a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. I was transitioning between the DK1 and the DK2, and I did have my new computer set up, the one I have today. However, it was equipped with a GTX 760, nothing more. By now I have two GTX 970s. For the purpose of this video, only one of those two cards will actually be functioning, should be sufficient. But moments ago, I actually fired up the game in my DK2 with the new SDK and all that shit, and I was like, oh man, this is running so much better, it looks like an entirely different game, and it just doesn't look like the same game anymore. So I figured it would warrant a good revisiting, and to the point where I'm experiencing the game, it's almost like a first impressions, because it's running so damn well. So I figured I'd go ahead and do that, and I'm also gonna knock two birds with one stone, and I'll get to during the drive, which is more or less a long experience. I'll get to explain to you why these first impressions VR videos are getting fewer and further apart. So I picked a face that resembles me very much, and this guy looks a lot like me or David Letterman. Yeah, David Letterman grew this big, huge-ass beard. He looks awesome. He actually is more often in paddocks than he is in television studios now. There's a few little funny oddities I've seen where you spawn in the trucks and it feels like the seat is all the way up to the steering wheel, like this. And you're like, no, that's wrong. And I tried hitting the recenter key and it doesn't help. This truck is a little better, but as you can see, between the steering and the seat, there'd be very little room for my legs. This would be quite uncomfortable. They messed up the floor scaling. It's not really the cabin itself. Cabin's fine, but the floor is too high, and that causes the seats to be too high. But aside from that, the second you look straight forward at the scenery in front or out the side windows or in the mirrors, everything is fine scale-wise. It really does feel like a persuasive scenery, like a very realistic scenery, a convincing scenery. There goes that word again. One complaint, and it is minor, is that the mirrors are monoscopic right now. They're in 2D. I don't really mind that. That is really not a problem to me. As long as you can actually get some cues from the mirrors, some visual cues, and that they obviously follow your POV as you move around like this. That's pretty good. The way I'm set up now is actually pretty good. I am at my driving station that does not have a keyboard. It only actually has a mouse, but no keyboard, no monitor. So I have to basically have to set up behind me where the actual workstation is, and then hop onto the seat, which is my sole driving station. It does nothing else than just serve as driving. So I move my motion tracker in front right here on this table, and I am all set up for Euro Truck Sim. Annoying thing is I had quite a few keys to remap. I'm not even done remapping those yet. But I even have hotkeys to recenter my view. I have enter and escape on my steering wheel, so I won't need a keyboard. So I'm pretty well set up. Missing a button here and there, but now that I got my blinkers and my headlights, I should be good to go. So I picked a mid-sized job, and I'm gonna go ahead, and I didn't even change the graphics settings. I think they are either medium high, or high. I don't know what they are by default, but this looks really good actually. Much better than when I ran it on my 760, where I had to basically tone down everything for the thing to run half properly, whereas right now, this is just impressive performance. I just want to make sure that I'm recording. I don't even believe the fact that this is recording. So it's coming out nice and easy, a little rusty obviously, because it does take a good deal of experience, either with the simulator or with an actual truck. This is not my kind of vehicle at all. I much prefer the very responsive race car. So it's very different for me. But I do like the immersive feel of virtual reality, whereas I can actually just use my natural driving cues, my natural real-life driving cues, by looking where I'm going, and it just doesn't make it more difficult than it has to be. You know, a screen's field of view will ruin such an experience with a simulator unless you're really, really good at said simulator. It'll take you, the learning curve will be rather brutal. Whereas here, I don't feel that there's much of a learning curve other than just driving a very large vehicle. Probably want to downshift here. So went too high with the gears. Or not. This truck... Oh yeah, there you go. That was the problem. Alright. Let's go into first gear so I can actually advance. And I think it's a right turn I have to take. So I will indicate this. And I'll make sure that the truck is clutched. Take my blinker off. My steering sensitivity I played with, I don't like to have to turn my wheel 4 times around. Take a turn, so I put it really high. It did a pretty good job. Alright, there we go. I'm done with the turn. I can actually speed up and let the poor folks behind me regain a bit of speed. So I'm about to enter the highway, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll be able to go on, explain why there are so few first impressions videos lately. It has to do with the fact that one virtual reality game out of 2 uses the engine, the Unity game engine. So one out of 2 games that support virtual reality is likely to be made with the Unity game engine. And well, since the inception of Oculus SDK 0.7, which enforces a sort of direct graphical mode to display images on the Oculus Rift using a driver. Your Oculus Rift basically no longer functions. Hey! Your Oculus Rift no longer functions as a secondary screen. It's sort of using a proprietary interface and a proprietary driver to get images. Whoa, shit. Whoa, easy there. Let's stay in 5th. Uses a proprietary driver and interface in order to send the images to the Oculus Rift now. And that's all fine and dandy because it does help performance and it does help them optimize the way frames are sent to the device and the way the device adapts for the motion of your head and so forth. That's all pretty cool. Come on, Road. Come on, simulator. I'm making a fucking video here. I got shit to talk about to my subscribers. In fact, I've been suggesting to some people that they make ASMR videos with Euro Truck Simulator. Forget that shit. There's too many tolls. IGN 7 out of 10. Too many tolls. That's the official review. There we go. Let's do it like this. Alright, and then you press enter, and then the gate opens, so I got the enter key on my keyboard. Every time you get used to a truck in this mode where you don't own the truck, you have to actually relearn the damn thing, because they change trucks at every job. That's annoying. Because now I had all the fucking shifting all memorized and everything, and I have to fucking start over every time. That's okay. This is not very ASMR worthy. I wouldn't use this thing to make ASMR videos with. It was also funny during my test run. I got into a few scrapes and everything because it's just like, yeah, you get out of the way. Alright, there we go. We're getting some speed. Looks like I'm on the highway. I just paid my toll. Let's hope they give me a moment to speak now. So, Oculus 0.7, the Unity game engine, and here's what the problem is. If you want to capture video now, because Oculus 0.7 uses that proprietary interface to send images to the Oculus Rift, when you say fire up Fraps or DX Story, you're no longer capturing from what the Oculus Rift is seeing. You're capturing from the mirror window. The mirror window is basically a mirror image of the game that's running in the Oculus Rift shown on your desktop. That's where Fraps or DX Story or all these apps are going to go capture from. If you run an Unreal Engine 4 game that has Oculus Rift support, you will notice that it simply mirrors what the Oculus Rift is showing. It literally mirrors the warped image with the chromatic aberration and everything. And that would be what I could call the standard way of mirroring a VR image. So you're looking at what the Oculus Rift is seeing. Now, what Unity does is it mirrors the game it's running not only in 2D, not only with a super small field of view in which you can barely see anymore and it looks worse than if you're running the game on a screen, but on top of that, there's like 5 or 6 post-processing effects that add glow and blur and motion blur, like fucking video echo. So now, if I want to do a first impressions video of any game that's been built on Unity, I have to do it in this ugly ass 2D video that runs at 15 frames per second and has motion blur on it. And you know, it's one thing to be forced to do it in 2D. I have considered doing these first impressions videos in 2D. I tried one game, and then I looked at the video and I said, this looks like absolute utter trash, even for 2D. It was embarrassing. And it was a cool game. That's what sucks. It was Vector 36. I might be getting the number wrong right now. It's a really, really cool game. It has helicopter-like controls. I really wanted to show it to you. I was ready to do it in 2D. And then I captured the video, and I see this fucking disgusting motion blur in action, and I'm like, what the absolute fuck is going on? Oh shit, this is pretty fucking dangerous. Go fuck yourself. Basically, I'm surprised I didn't even get a fine for that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you a clip of a Unity game, a game that's being built on Unity, so it's an unfinished product. This is a game I'm developing myself. It's called Angrily VR. There's a trailer of it on my channel. You can actually go check that out if you want. It is in 2D for obvious reasons that I'm talking about right now. And go figure, as the developer of the game, not only was I not able to capture a 3D VR trailer of my game, but on top of that, I was unable, for the fucking life of me, to disable these horrific fucking post-processing effects. Notably, that fucking motion blur, which I despise motion blur. I look at 2 seconds of it on a screen and it makes me feel sick. So not only am I stuck with 2D, but I'm stuck with these fucking post-processing effects that I never asked for and never put in there. They're just tossing them in there in the mirror image. So not only does it add effects that you don't want, but it probably also adds extra processing time to your GPU. So I find that that's total and utter bullshit. Look at this video. I mean, I'm gonna slow it down so you see how much fucking motion blur there is in there. It looks like it's running at 15 frames per second and it's using motion blur to make it look like the frame rate's higher. But the only thing I see there is a whole bunch of fucking smears. So it looks like shit. All the Unity games right now look like that if I run them in VR and try to capture them. So I, believe it or not, the name of my channel is fucking Stereo 3D fucking Productions, and I even considered doing 2D videos, and even there, I wasn't able to accept them because they look like shit. If you want to be the main game engine for this platform, for VR, you better shape the fuck up, because people are going to start using Unreal or whatever else they can, because that, my friends, is utter shit. To close up the thing to the point where I can't even capture my own game the way I want to. Oh, and by the way, let me tell you this. When I made that trailer, you'll notice that the VR shots, although they're in 2D, there is no motion blur on my VR shots. And I'll tell you what I had to do to get that working. I actually had to run the game in the Unity editor in VR while capturing with DX Story. And let me tell you folks, that is distinct Unity abuse. It's totally abusing the editor. But I had no choice. It looked like absolute crap. Are you gonna fucking do it? Thank you. Christ, I'm there waiting for the guy to do it. I'm in no hurry, bro. Just fucking change your lanes. Alright, so, like I was saying, I mean, if you're gonna give us so little options, force me to have to use the fucking editor to capture a clear version of my trailer, one that doesn't look like blurry shit. Don't call yourselves the choice for the VR gaming platform. You are clearly not doing it correctly, and this is actually sheer incompetence, if you ask me. It's highly incompetent of them to do such a stupid thing as to screw up the mirror image. And let me tell you, if some people like that blurry 2D shit, then all power to them. Power to them. Good on you. The thing is I'd like an option not to have... Oh, shit. I'd like an option not to have that blurry ass shit. There should be choices. And it's a good thing that I'm about to park, because I'm about to tell you why today I discovered there must be an asshole that works at Unity. Euro Truck Simulator has a bunch of modes for the mirror image. Right now what I'm doing is I'm capturing this game in stereoscopic 3D without the chromatic aberration in the image warp, which frankly on a screen is counterintuitive. You don't want that. So Euro Truck Simulator have done it right. Not just that, they put options for it. The same goes with Fly Inside FSX. In fact, I have to applaud Fly Inside FSX because those guys really understand virtual reality. They have put a plethora of options on the mirror camera so that you can get a lower frame rate on it, a lower resolution, or a higher resolution. You can get it in 3D and 2D. You can turn on the image warp, turn it off. So this is not an Oculus SDK limitation. This is clearly just there must be at least one or more assholes working at Unity. And I highly advise they shape the fuck up. Otherwise, nobody will down the line want to use their engine because here's the thing, this is one element, right? But this one element is actually rather basic. If you're gonna fuck up the fact that VR is actually inherently stereoscopic and that people like to capture this, I mean, it's not just my 3D channels. A lot of people who do like to capture the 3D direct output of the Oculus Rift, whether it's for rewatching it in Google Cardboard or an older device, whether it's to just watch it on the TV screen and get the depth perception in order to be able to get another interface on which you get depth perception. For instance, I like to actually crop my videos and adjust them for 3D viewing on a screen, especially when I'm making a game of my own. Why? Because in that case, I can actually go ahead and look at the depth on another device than the Oculus Rift. Watch on the screen and say, that chair looks a little too big, that table looks a little too big. Sometimes it's really comfortable to be able to go from device to device and see the depth perception in varied forms. And I found extreme use for it. It's not just for my channel personally, it's also for my development process. And to take that away is complete bullshit. So what I want to do here is actually very slowly do this. Yeah, like this. Like this. Yeah, easy. Easy in. Easy in. Easy in. I'd like to do this space capsule style. I know I'm far away from my mic right now. I hope it's still recording properly. I like to do this space capsule style. Oh shit. Oh my god, fuck that up. Where am I going here? Yeah, that's what I want to do. No, I want to continue doing that. Continue. Okay, easy. Yeah, got it. That's beautiful. Now I see I didn't even put the T key on my steering wheel, so I'll have to actually get up. I'll put it in neutral so it doesn't move out of the spot. So that is gonna wrap it up for this video. That was fucking awesome. The parking, one shot. So first time I'm doing one shot, so I'm giving myself a hand of applause. Let's see what I got. Woo! Oh, cool. Nice. Huh. Doing pretty good. I just fucking reinstalled the game. Oh, it looks like I have a level up. Let's do high value cargo. Oh, I have more points. How many points do I have? One more skill point. Fragile cargo. There we go. Alright, so like I was saying, it was cool that the drive lasted just long enough for me to cover the whole topic the way I wanted to. I was worried that this would take a few takes, and it did not. I didn't even need more than one shot to park, so that's pretty cool. But I've been wanting to talk about that for a while because every time I'm working on my own game, staring at that mirror image makes me angry. Because I'm just, fuck man. I'm going to probably find a way in my game to control the mirror image. However, the problem is they're putting it on the back of every single game developer to do that themselves right now, and to figure out how the fuck to get to it because I didn't see it in the documentation, obviously. So this is super annoying, and Unity, don't go and say that you want to be the #1 choice for the VR platform if you're gonna fuck it up at step 1. That is not cool. Fly Inside FSX does it right, Arc does it right, it's Unreal Engine 4, it's fine, there's no problem with it. Fly Inside FSX has like 90 options for the mirror window, and that's just one product, that's not even a freaking engine. And then you have Euro Truck Simulator that not only outputs stereoscopic, but they do remove the effects that should be removed on the screen, like CA and image warp, which by the way adds about 2 hours of time per half hour to my render. So big thanks to Euro Truck Simulator, big thanks to Fly Inside FSX, which I will probably revisit, by the way, and no thanks to you, Unity. I hope you enjoyed the Euro Truck Sim video, though. That fucking shit is awesome, by the way. I forgot that I was just fucking doing Euro Truck Sim through the drive, and I was like a trucker bitching about life. That's how you do an ETS first impressions, right? See, you gotta be an angry trucker bitching about life as he's driving. Anyways, alright, I'm gonna shut up now and let you go on with your day.